if you have a few minutes, please go to YouTube. Check out this video. It's called Vote Him Away. If you want to know how to get the vibration out into the universe, sing this song. Fantastic. Seriously, if you want to know what can you do to do your part to help put the vibration to get rid of the negativity in the world, do this. Put that song into your heart and in your head. Vote him away, vote him away, vote him away. Whatever you need to do it. Because I'm telling you guys, we are slowly and surely going to be looking into how things are going to go, because whether or not we'd like to believe it, Trump is not the only problem. He's just the tip of the iceberg, and there's going to be so much that 2020 is going to bring out on all sides. Like Donald Trump says, there's good people on both sides. Believe me, there's bad people on both sides, and we're going to see that. So, before I even start my reading, I have my candle lit for each and every one of us, sending you positive wishes of good health, good mental health, because guys, this is crazy, absolutely crazy. So for Karen, I'm going to be doing a reading on Governor Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, and I also did a numerology read on New York, so I'm going to put that one in. And for Canonet 33, I hope I'm saying it correctly, you put some great information in about VP picks. I'll be doing that in a later video. So thank you very much. And to everybody who subscribes, thank you. For everybody who takes the time to like, I really appreciate it. And for the comments, I love them. I read each and every one of them, even if I don't agree with them. And some of them I do agree with, very much so. So thank you for your time. I so appreciate it. So with that, I thought, let's look into Andrew Cuomo, as Karen had asked. So I did his numerology, like numerology. And I know I could probably, do it quicker on some kind of computer or what have you, but the way I look at it, I learned it old school. I do it old school. If I make a mistake, it's my mistake to be made, and I have nobody to blame but myself. So for Mr. Cuomo, I saw that he has a life path of 4. He has a birthday of 6. He has an expression or destiny of 4. So right off the bat, I'm being told he's proactive, he's practical, he's down to earth. Right is right, wrong is wrong, black is white. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't help him change his opinion. It's just that he sees the world in a very old-fashioned way. And he's in the year of being the builder of the foundation, taking care of the cracks. And that's exactly where he's supposed to be, destined to be in New York right now. Now, he does have numbers that show he has some rigidity. He has judgmental issues. He can be bossy and rude. But his birth number tells me he has the middle ground. He sees what he can do, and he does it. But he also knows his own limitations. Now, he's not going to admit them to you, but he knows them himself, so he can guide himself to do what he feels is best. So if, for example, you're looking at the presidency and you're thinking, wow, is he going to be the president? We'll look at that in the cards. But through his numerology, when he said no, I think he actually meant no. That doesn't mean it can't change. It just means that I just don't see it here right now. He has, in the month of May, coming into the month of May, he's in a personal year of 4. So that's stability, foundation. Like I said, he was destined to be where he is doing what he's doing. But he's also going to be in the month of 9. So the month of 9 is you're going to see, because COVID is not going anywhere. It's going to be here for the long haul. But you are going to see in New York, you're going to see the numbers taper down. He is going to get his 14 days of constantly decreased numbers. And that will happen over the month of May. Now, you're still going to see people getting sick or passing away, but that is certainly going to decrease in the month of May. In June, he's coming into his number 1, his personal month of 1. So he has been his own man. He has been standing up for New York for what he thinks is right, and he will stand up against, you know, Trump and his whole administration. And that is going to be very evident in June. He is going to set the time, date, and when it's going to happen. And if he feels in any way, shape, or form that anybody is in any kind of danger, he will change it. And he won't care what Donald Trump or the administration says. So he is definitely inclined to use logic. He's not somebody who has, you know, imagery of grandeur or anything of that nature. But through this process of how he's dealing with COVID, how he's dealing with New York, he is going to find his place in history. He is going to have the respect of people and become really good standing in his community. And it's almost like, you know, if you thought he was a bit of a, if you didn't love him, you might not love him now, but you'll have respect for him because people grow and he has grown. He has put people before politics. He's put people before himself. And he's definitely doing it in pride and in honor of New York, of his father, of his roots. It's evident throughout his numbers, that bond. So I also did the numerology for New York. And New York, you guys are going to be fine. Don't you worry about it. Yes, you've been hit hard. Any death, even one death, is one death too many. And because of the numbers, because of the location, because of the misinformation, the misguidance, you guys got hit first, but you are the leader. You are the ones that are going to have the strong expression of self. You are going to be the ones that are going to, unfortunately, you were the ones that were hit first, but you're also going to be the ones that are going to be able to give the information. You, in New York, are going to be the state. You are going to be the pivotal point where, where the things that are going to come to light, whether it be about Donald Trump's taxes, whether it be about legal issues, his bond to Russia and China and all this stuff, it's going to come from New York. New York is going to be a major player. You guys have the dream of 7. You are going to be the spiritual leader of the country. You are going to be the ones that are going to see things first and deal with them first. You are going to be the ones that people are going to look at and say, well, that's what we need to do. So let's look and see if my tarot cards will support me in that. And let's see how New York is doing. And then we'll look at Andrew Cuomo. I should have looked at him first, but I just spoke about New York. So let's see how New York is going to do. Past, present, and future. So we take the past from the bottom. So here we are. We're at the 10 of Wands. This is struggle. This is having to really push against it, holding the most of the weight. But as you can see, this is the 10 of Wands. This means that you are at the end of the journey. So for sure, we're looking at May, and May being the month that you're going to see the numbers decrease. In the future, we have the Page of Swords. Guys, you guys are going to be the truth tellers. You are going to be the ones that are going to be at the epicenter of everything Donald Trump. I'm so excited. And for the future, there's going to be worries. There's going to be sleepless nights because it's not just the coronavirus. You know how Donald Trump said there's good people on both sides? Well, there's bad people on both sides. So we're going to be going through some major changes. So with the truth is going to come a lot of responsibility, and New York is going to be at the epicenter of it. So you guys are going to be the ones that are going to see the darkness first, and you're going to be the ones that are going to have the worry and the stress of it, because as the truth teller, you will also be the ones that are going to be pushed against, because whether people want to believe it or not, it's not just the Republicans. It's not just Donald Trump. People have their money, they have their agendas, they have their things that they need to do for whatever reason. I mean, you look at Bill Gates. I'm just going to say it. You might think, oh, he's a terrific guy. He's no. The Clintons Foundation, all of them, they all have their money they all have their price tag. It's not just Donald Trump. Donald Trump and his cronies, they're just blatant. They're just ignorant pigs about it. But there's another layer of darkness that we have to show the light to. So this is not going to be an easy. It's not going to be a short time. It's not like, oh, we'll get rid of Donald Trump and all of a sudden everything's going to be great. It just means that we are at the beginning and it's a great time. It's going to be because you think anything's interesting. If you can get away, if you can let go of the fear because it's not yours, if you can just say, you know what, whatever's happening around me, I will use it. I will listen. I will learn, but I will make my own decisions and protect myself in my own bubble and manifest the best for me. You will be fine. So let's look at Andrew Cuomo. Is there a chance that he will look at being president, whether it be now or in the future? So let's look for Cuomo. Past. Four of Wands. So he just wants to hold on to where he is. What he got is more than enough. He owes nobody. He truly, what he loves, he loves. What he believes in, he believes in. He's a decent guy. Presently, quick movement. There is so much happening right now. He has so many responsibilities when it comes to New York and everything that's happening. He's at the epicenter of truth. He's at the epicenter of disease. So these things that are happening quickly. And the 8th month, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August into September. So, yeah, August. There might be something happening in August for Andrew Cuomo. What would be something happening in August? Let me just have a quick look, because as soon as I got that card, I just felt this quick movement, but I also thought 8 has to be significant. I tried to clarify, so I got the Fool. So this is that being at, you know what? Ooh, think about it. I have said there's a chance that Trump would leave in August. So if this is representing August, this might be that he's going to be asked, and he might actually have to think about, could I, would I? Because he knows these limits. Oh, isn't that interesting? Future, guys. 9 of Wands. I think it's going to be really hard on him, the whole situation, because the COVID didn't just happen to him within his family. It didn't just happen around him to his community. This changed him as a person. And I think his eyes have been opened up to, the dark side of the government. I mean, we all know there's dark and light, but there's different when you're in it, because then even just being in it and not calling it out, you're an enabler. And with this experience, this has changed him spiritually. So he is going to feel the need to defend, but he's exhausted. I don't know. Will he or won't he? Is there a chance that he may... I think there's probably a greater chance he will be asked to think about it, but is there a chance that he would consider it? Yes or no? I got my 2 of Wands. So he's definitely looking past just his own little New York. It's in his mind. It's not a definite no, but it's definitely not a definite yes. But it's something he might consider looking into. But I got a feeling that at the end of the day, based on his numerology, that he likes where he's to. I think he'll love the fact that he'll get public awareness and public appreciation. So that'll be interesting to see. So let's have a look. Okay. There's a thing called predictive numerology. Now, I love numerology. I use it for everything, as you know. So one of the things that you can do is do predictions. And I know some people probably don't understand this. Anybody who tells you that they can tell you exactly what's happening in the future, they can't. We can tell you what the energies are. We can tell you what the most probable thing will be, but we can't tell you for certain because the universe and free will has its own way. Anybody who tries to tell you differently have way too big of egos. So one of the ways that you can use numerology is to do predictions. So as an example, if you called me up and said, Nine, listen, I am going out on a date with this guy. I have not met him. I have no idea who he is. I'm being set up by my sister. And I'll say to you, well, when's his birthday? If you know it, great. I can tell you about his personality. If you don't know, then I'd say, well, when's your date? You give me that date. And from that date, I can predict how it's going to go. I can predict, he's going to show up. He's not going to show up. He's going to be late. You'll enjoy his company. You won't enjoy his company. I mean, there's ways that you can do predictions. It doesn't always work out, but, and that's not because of the numbers. It's because of the interpreter. So I decided, just to put it on record, to see how it works out, almost like an experiment, I did do two predictions, or two numerology predictions that I was going to share with you guys. So the first one was about Kim Jong. As I've said in past reading, that his health is unstable, that he has to be really careful about anything that he eats, and that I don't see him returning into a leadership position. So I decided to go into a deeper dive and do a prediction. So in my prediction, I use the numbers. I'm not going to get into all that because it's just, this is the heavier part of numerology if you get into it. And it takes time because I had to do charts and do all that kind of stuff. So my prediction for Kim Jong is that he has the 8, which means that it's hidden. 8 means that there's what the situation is hidden, that it causes speculation, that there's an evil energy around it. So that means that what he's going through was not just of his own doing. It was helped along. Now, that doesn't mean that he was killed off. It just means that, as I said, he ingested something. So maybe he took something that made him worse, or maybe something that was actually bad for him, or maybe somebody did try to put something negative in his body. But because of the 8 being hidden, there's like a hidden organization behind it. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was something behind it. And his second number that came out was the number 9. So in predictions, that can predict the end of issues. That means already dead. And that could also refer to death ceremony. So predictively, if I'm looking at these numbers, I would say that he is already passed. I don't do death or dying. I am just doing the predictions based on the numbers. He could be not dead. He could be alive but not capable of communicating. There's a definite stop here. And when I try to put in the feeling, like if I try to close my eyes and just try to feel something from him, I don't feel anything. So that doesn't mean that he's gone. It just means that he's not available. So even if he's passed away, he's not available to have a conversation, even if he is on the other side, because he's just blocked out completely on both realms. But in numerology prediction, whatever's going on is hidden, and it's the end. It's going to cause tension. There is going to be a ceremony, a death ceremony, but I mean, that could also be the people who are involved, and it was organized from behind. So that's the first prediction. My second prediction was I looked into the Donald. Well, according to Kathy Griffith, He had said, refer to me as the Donald. So I went in depth into the Donald. So I'll just give you a quick look at what I do. And of course, I mean, yes, I could be doing this all on a computer, I suppose. I'm old school. I like putting paper to pen. I like whatever it is that I do is what I did. I'm responsible for it. If I make a mistake, it's my mistake. But I did, do I have a pen? Yeah. I did some predictions for Donald Trump. So, according to his human activity chart, which I've plotted right here, and this starts in between 0 and 12, he was in the number 1, meaning that this was the lowest time of his life. I think that he was very much alone and made to feel alone. Whatever shaped him as a person within the first 12, 15 years of his life, the things that happened there to him are things that affected him for the rest of his life. And because if you look at his activity and I go through his years, once I get to 72 and I go into 80, going into 86, between 72 and 86, he's going back to that low vibration of 1. And he is coming into a time of 1, which is the most difficult time. It's the most dangerous time. It's a time to be worried about himself physically, whether that be an accident, a fall, a car accident, physical danger to himself from others, from diseases, from other people, a definite push on his heart. There is a breathing issue going into his heart, huge trouble, especially in the 4, which is interesting because we're still in the month of 4 of April, because he's got 4s and 6s all over him. So April, May, June. So May, June are April into May, June into July and August. You're looking at times when he's going to be at his weakest when it comes to physicality. I'm looking at around his numbers. He's got 4 6s. So 4 6s is a time of illness. This could be a time of issues with vehicles, accidents, like I said, being stuck. It's almost like he was Teflon Don up to this point, but now because the 6s and they're so adamant and they're around him now coming into the time before November of 2020, there's definitely an issue around sickness and women. So I don't necessarily mean that it's going to be against him towards women. It could be that he's going to go on the attack of women. He is going to go berserk, and I mean crazy berserk. If you think Javex was bad, you haven't seen anything as to what he will try to do to Joe Biden if given the chance. So my prediction for Donald Trump, according to numerology prediction, and this is just trying it out to see how it goes, I think that he is coming into a time when his physical and mental capacities are going to be challenged. This is also has a hidden number for him of 8, which is nerve-wracking because this could be a prediction of danger coming to the United States, meaning that there are entities out there, be it China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, Iraq. There are enemies, unseen, hidden enemies from Donald Trump that would love nothing more than to not just hurt him, but to hurt his people, to make a show of him, to embarrass him on the world stage. So this is also a time where I'm just going to say, I predict that there could be something happening that will be on the world stage over the next few months that's more than just the politics of what's going on. Because of the way the numbers fell, I still feel strongly that by August, going into September, in the fall time, if he's going to leave, that's going to be the time that he will do it. And it's really hard to kind of do this, not because you can't, it's because the energies are always changing. We have free will. Just the fact that if I tell you something, that could change how you would see something. The whole point is for me to say, hey, listen, here is where I can strongly see the flow going. It's like I can strongly see there's going to be a lot of challenges coming towards us. And it's not just Donald Trump. We're going to be challenged with vaccines and big pharma, big government. It's not, there's so many more truths that have to come out. And, one of the things I want to look into is like, what happened to Epstein? What happened? Why did everything, like, I mean, you got Prince Andrew, everything just kind of ended. Is this going to come back into circulation? Or is there enough people between Donald Trump and the Republicans and the Clinton Foundation and Bill and all their gang? They all have a vested interest in pulling the wool over our eyes. So we really got to start from the foundation. This is the year of 2020, the year of 4, the year of foundation. That means giving up, giving the 1%, saying, no, you don't have the power anymore. This is the time for us to build up from the bottom of the foundation of 4, to figure out our worth, our strength, our ability, because we have it. That's the most amazing thing. We chose to be here to learn the lessons of good versus evil, good winning out, and having the strength to see it through it. So it is a fantastic time, but it's going to be a bumpy ride. So very interesting. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I don't wish anything bad to happen, but I like doing the predictive numerology, even though that's something new to me. So it's going to take a while before I actually get results to see if anything I say is coming true. And that'll be the last thing. I'm going to just do a quick little read on Kim Jong-un. Do my tarot cards support him not being well and not being able to lead in the past? A heavy situation. I think he's probably in hospital, incapacitated, and they have no idea what to do to proceed. Future, things are going to move quickly. You're going to find out within the next 6 days what's going on with Kim Jong-un. And for the future, the Hermit. So I think that with Kim Jong-un not being able to lead for whatever reason, I think that the Hermit shows that we're going to finally get a peek into the life of North Korea, what's happening. And like I said, this is going to be a huge time of change for everybody on the world stage, including North Korea. So there's going to be some interesting finds to happen there too. God bless. So that's it. That's our reading for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any requests, please put it below. And I'm going to be doing the VP picks, and I'll figure out something else to do to add to that. So wishing you light for your darkness. Thank you so much for all your support. Have a great night.